flying.
Not just for decorating
trees.
trees.
Ew. I hate that you did that.
That kid.
Anyway, sorry.
I'm so
Continue.
glad that I'm not the only one that hears it that way. What is, everyone? Welcome back to Nerd On, the podcast you didn't need, but you deserve, and where all levels of nerd are welcome.
Even those who believe in Santa Claus.
Yeah, even those who believe. But today, believing is seeing, and Santa is more than just a feeling and a state of mind. Today, we not only take a sleigh bell nostalgia ride to discuss the big red man himself, but Santa Claus, the Claus.
Oh.
In the movie.
This is the reason I misspelled Santa Claus for like 10 years, by the way.
Oh no, you can put in the E?
Yeah.
Me
for the
too.
Claus.
Really?
For years. Yeah. And then I got to be like
not good.
literally till I was like 17 or 18. And I was like, oh my God. I still do it now
Mhm.
without thinking. And then I see it and I go, oh, God damn
You
it.
could
I
imagine.
confused it with claws like CLAWS.
Oh,
and
that's
then,
Nightmare
but
Before
with a
Christmas.
K.
Sandy Claus.
I mean, I'm assuming
I had
everybody
never
here
seen that,
believes
though.
in Santa Claus, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
What do
of
you mean
course.
believe?
What do you mean?
Sometimes believing is just
What?
believing.
Oh, that's right. It's a fact. So
Well, I mean, you don't
can't
believe
just
in
believe
humans.
a fact. It is a thing.
Do you believe
I
in
don't
gravity?
believe in calories. So
Oh yeah.
It shows.
Pass me one of those chocolates.
Before we get too far into it, let's introduce our host. My name is Tom.
Ollie.
Caitlin.
I'm Corey.
And I am Josh, and this episode is brought to you by the Nerd On Nation that is powered by Patreon. As a member of the Nerd On Nation, you get fun perks like early access to episodes like this, access to a Discord server in which you can talk to all of the Nerd On family, which is fun. Us as
The
hosts.
entire Nerd On Nation, some might say.
Yes, some might say. And us, we're members of the Nerd On Nation.
We are.
And we're going to.
So, yeah.
I'm,
And you
I'm
get
the admiral of the
yeah.
nation.
Oh,
You get,
wow.
Wait, we doing ranks now?
Yes.
Now I'm trying to think of what your rank would be, what my rank would
God,
be.
yeah.
Schooners.
But yeah, check
Mine would
that
be
out.
communications.
Nerdon.io/Patreon. And this episode is brought to you in part by our friends over at Comixology, the internet's #1 source for comic books.
Do
Gu-
it.
Guys, I love
Do it.
Comixology.
You
just,
said it. You
just
gotta
makes
do
me
it.
feel like it's like
There
the
it
best place to read comic books, you know? Like it's just on my app, and when I find a new comic book, it's
Yeah.
downloaded immediately, especially if I have unlimited, then I can get stuff that normal people normally can't
Yeah.
get.
What's
But I get
normal people.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
everyone's normal. Normal people can't normally get.
Oh, that's
And you know you're sitting by the fire right
Yeah.
now. You know you
And I
probably
have a nice backlit,
you
so I don't
might
have to,
be-
I could read it when before I go to bed without having a light disrupting my,
they might
my
be visiting
wife or-
family against your will.
What are we
right
doing
now.
right now?
Yeah, what's happening?
It's Christmas. You know
Is
you're
this like a major-
visiting
should I just be
family.
like-
You just want to read comic books.
It's a great time to read comic
And that's
books.
the best place to go is nerdon.io/Comixology, the internet's #1 source of comic books.
I can't.
Look, I tell you this right now. On all YouTube, every single time it's like, I really enjoyed making this video, and I really felt like I was experimenting, going through a new place. That's why Skillshare was so important for me. I was like, God damn, that was such a
You
good.
got me.
I was
You
like,
got me.
And I was like, I'm done now.
Yeah, maybe a heads up next time so we're all
No.
on board for it.
no. This is
So
SNL.
we're not in the
This is
background going,
SNL.
what the fuck
I'm
is he
Pete
talking
Davidson,
about?
and I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'm the worst of the cast.
I would love to see an ad like that where the person's talking to the camera and all their friends are like, who the fuck are you talking to right now?
Unedited
What's going
video.
on?
That's when I switched to Claritin D. Sarah, what are you doing?
Who are you talking
Get your
to?
head in the game.
In
Evil
all
villain
actuality, we have a lot of affiliates like Amazon. Please do check them out. A little bit of your purchase goes to helping us be the best that we can be.
So that we
So-
can be the best for you.
So next time you
Wow.
need Claritin D.
Go to Amazon.
Go to
Anyway,
Amazon. We're here
let's
talking about the
move
Santa Claus
forward.
movie.
Yes.
So I mean, this is going to be a completed film. It's one film.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to do
And
something we
an
haven't done in a
entire-
while, which is at the end of the episode, we're going to rate it 1 out of 5. That allows us to do it right now. Is
Guess that grump.
Dun, dun,
Jingle
dun,
bells,
dun,
jingle
dun,
bells,
Copyright strike.
jingle bells,
Jingle bells,
Nice.
jingle bells, jingle bells.
There's always a winter
Then
break.
you guess the grump.
Ah. Harry
Ta-da.
Potter sounds like Carol the Bells to me.
It does.
Little bit.
So, if you're first time watching or listening to the show, Guess That Grump is a segment right now that we're going to take turns to see who's going to have the lowest rating 1 out of 5 in the group. No matter how high the number is, if you're the lowest in the group, you're the grump for the week.
So,
Encourage
or-
everyone.
the Christmas Grinch.
No,
Of the week?
that's another movie.
No.
tried.
We encourage everyone at home to play along, comment below, and send us slip and slide what you thought of the movie, also what your number was, and who you thought it would have been.
Since you always explain it,
And I never do it wrong. I always do it
Isn't
wrong.
Tom cool?
Guys, I always do it wrong. That's why we don't have a script for it. I'm going to guess out of everyone who thinks it was going to be the lowest. I think it's going to be Ali.
oh, so there's one vote for Ali.
It's a safe bet.
Go for the non-white. Yeah,
It's a
makes
safe
sense.
bet.
Wow. None of us can be mad though.
Go on.
All right, Ali, go.
That's what's so great about it. I'm gonna go with Tom.
Who's your guess? You're gonna
Oh,
ask Tom.
that's a good bet, actually. That's a good bet.
Spiteful vote. No, I'm gonna pick Tom.
Oh, that's a really good vote.
I'm gonna pick Ali.
Mm.
My people are technically Caucasian, so it works anyways.
See, here's my dilemma. I want to pick Tom,
Mhm.
but I know Tom fucking loves Tim Allen, and he loves them holiday movies.
It does. It's true.
I
So-
fucking love Tim Allen. Thanks to my
I
dad.
wonder if that's gonna boost some points, like maybe a point above someone else, because it's
Mhm.
not only like a holiday movie, but it's
Whole
all
point.
it's a 0.1 or something like that.
Okay.
Look, I am the legit Grinch.
Yeah,
My heart is pretty
but
big.
it's also got an annoying little kid in it.
Oh.
So I'm gonna vote Tom.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
True
Yeah,
that.
I think
True
that's
that.
smart. I think
And-
What
that's
about
smart.
the Nerd on
Uh,
Nation?
The Nerd on Nation also votes for Tom.
Hey. Wait.
Power.
Ali is in second with the Nerd on Nation, correct?
Yeah, but the
the
vote we're
winner
counting
is
is gonna
me.
be Tom. But then it would then go to Ali, Caitlin, and Corey are both tied. Actually, be me next. So it's Tom, Ali, Corey, Caitlin, Josh.
If
in
you want to
that
be part of the
order.
voting
Wow.
process,
Wow.
join the
Most
Nerd on
votes
Nation.
to least.
So
yeah.
since that's out of the way, we're gonna do the complete spoiler of that, which is our first impressions, aka initial reactions, if you're across the pond or wherever you're from. I'm gonna explain. I'm gonna go first. So I love this movie. As a
Oh.
kid, this was to me my Christmas movie, right? Like
Interesting.
there's like Home Alone, Home Alone
Mhm.
2, and then
Yeah.
there's like Santa Claus for me.
Oh,
Like these were
wow.
like the
Really?
staples. You know what? Because I do love Tim Allen only because my dad, like, to Josh's, as he explained before, waterboarded me with so much Tim Allen shows, such as like Home Improvement.
Home Improvement's a
Uh,
gem.
It is, and I love Jungle to Jungle and everything else he's
Oh,
been
yeah.
into.
Oh my
I didn't watch
God.
Galaxy Quest till way later on, but so this in a cool way, like I love Tim Allen's transformation in this film.
Yeah.
Like he physically looks like that to me is like that's how Santa Claus should look like.
yeah.
Mhm.
Like red button
Yeah,
nose.
they did it well.
He looked really good. It's like, Eddie Murphy and Nutty Professor. Like it was like really good for its time.
Yeah.
And I just kind of loved where it was it's very traditional, easy, simple storytelling.
Mhm.
Take the person
Mhm.
who like is the faux pas. I believe in Christmas, but I only do it for its convenience.
Yeah.
And then now is going to be fully believing into it. So there is that arc that he undergoes in the story. There is a fucking kid, so that sucks. But I mean, a lot of the Christmas music that I ever like resonated with me. We played a little bit before the
Is
episode
in
started.
this.
Is in this, and
See, this is where I was at. I was like, oh, I don't know.
lot of
so
holiday.
I would say this. Definitely go watch it. I have not watched the third one, but I did watch
There's
the
a-
second one.
Oh, that's right.
I've
Yeah,
seen the second
because
one.
it
I saw the
turns to
second
Civil
one.
War.
Yeah.
Because that's the next
Yeah.
logical step.
Oh, third with Jack
with
Frost.
with the Martin Short
Yeah.
baby. Fucking, I mean, those two
Mm.
together is
Yeah.
so good.
You haven't seen it?
No,
I haven't seen either.
It's worth seeing.
Oh yeah.
If you like the
Wow.
Santa Claus films.
The
it's
second one
worth
good?
seeing. Yeah.
Is it?
Second one, he has to
Yeah.
find a Mrs. Claus.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh my.
And his
And
son
it's
is
the
like a
girl from,
teenager.
it's the woman from Lost. Not Evangeline Lilly. I
Oh my
apologize.
God.
The blonde one, Juliet.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
She's great in
Okay.
it.
And
I would
like
prefer
his
Evangeline.
son is also a teenager now.
And it's the same actor.
Who's
Oh,
burdened
Same
with the
kid.
weight of knowledge.
Is in all three.
interesting.
So anyway,
So that's my point.
my initial reaction. I
Yeah.
come from a home improvement family. That was our it was a big
Wow.
event in our house when the final episode aired. Like we
Oh.
all got together on the couch and watched it. So this was an easy step for us to take into the Santa Claus. So I'm like Tom. I grew up with this film, but watching it again as an adult, taking off the rose-tinted glasses,
Mhm.
I will say this: I love the concept. I think it's a really fascinating concept that Santa Claus hasn't been this one guy, because it's funny because it comes full circle where it is kind of an idea. It is kind of a state of mind of whoever is in those clothes at the time, right? It's not one guy who's been doing it for centuries.
Can I add to that?
Yeah.
To me, while I was watching it, I couldn't help but think, just because now we're watching in 2019 at the time of this recording, I was like, This is the fucking MCU version of Santa Claus.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is them like, let's put it in reality. How do we make it?
I
Yeah.
think they did a really good job of that kind of stuff. Like I'm a big sucker for puns, so like
Yeah.
a rose such a clatter.
Clatter.
Yeah.
Was like
that was great.
Like that's the way they put it in. Like
Rose Such
everyone's
Clatter
just got
Company.
that rhyme wrong for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
I think Tim Allen's comedy chops are on point in this. I mean, this is probably the peak Tim Allen time.
Mm-hmm.
I think everyone in it is good. I
Tim
think
Allison.
Bernard is
You get a signature.
Hilarious.
Oh, Bernard was
to have
great.
a small Jewish elf is the funniest
That was
thing
great.
that I've ever thought of. Like,
with dreads
Trying
and
to
still had hair poking
yes,
out.
try to understand. So for me, this is a win. Of course, like now that I'm older, some of the kid jokes don't really land for me. Like there's a lot of fart jokes in it that I'm just kind of like,
Yeah.
it's for the kids. But
Yeah.
it does have a fair amount of adult humor for watching it as an adult that I was like, I didn't understand that
And
when
you
I was young.
should
Yeah.
diet.
I
Diet.
lived through the 60s.
Yeah, like that one. Like you're up so high, it's okay. I lived through the 60s, like that kind of shit.
Yeah.
That I can appreciate now that those other jokes don't quite land as much. So I had a blast watching this. It is also one I pretty much watch almost every year. I think I
Oh,
missed
wow.
last year, but I haven't watched it critically. This is my first time watching it critically, so it's a different
Wow.
experience.
Interesting.
I'll go.
You
It
should
sounds like there's an echo in this room because
I love this
our
movie.
family was a Home Improvement fan.
It's almost like it was a popular show
yeah,
Ah.
almost.
and
Very
successful.
very into Tim Allen and pretty much anything that he did around those time. So when this movie came out, it did become kind of a holiday staple in our house. And I remember, so I tended to like babysit my little brother, and he had this thing that he liked to do is that if he found a movie that he liked, we watched it over
Hmm.
and over
Oh, that's just a kid
God.
thing.
and over again.
That
And
was
so
me.
Santa Claus, I have seen it many, many times. This is, like Corey said, my first time watching it critically. It is interesting seeing kind of nostalgia movies in a sense of, even 90s movies specifically, and just like the kinds of humor that they use, the kinds of stories, that kind of stuff, that some of it doesn't hold up exactly, but it was fun to watch it again. It's a movie that I always get a kick out of. I mean, even now, even if there are jokes that I'm like, okay, all right.
Can we just
But
go
it was a
down
lot
here
of
and take
fun.
the I-95?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lol.
But yeah, I think it's a really fun Christmas movie.
Oh man,
That's what
and
it
how
is.
badly did you want the hot cocoa from the sleigh?
so
Yeah.
And the cookie
the
dispenser.
badly.
That cookie
Mhm.
didn't actually look that good.
Okay, shut your fucking mouth.
Looked
It looked like a
Fantastic.
fucking prop ass cookie.
It's a dispensed cookie. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
It's
From a
probably
sleigh.
I couldn't help
just
thinking
warm
of the
enough.
logic of
Ollie,
like,
don't you love
is it
the
like
Michelin star
magnet?
vending machines? Those are great.
It's a Santa cookie made by elves. Of course, it's
Yeah.
delicious. Doesn't matter what it looks
It's gonna
like.
taste
Fucking-
magical.
Probably Judy made that.
Yeah.
Judy
Yeah.
spent
Yeah,
the
and
last
she sings someone
1,200
in
years.
rapping, so she can go screw
Yeah.
off.
She probably
Wow.
will.
Yeah, in
Uh,
rapping.
I hope she does. She deserves it.
Yeah,
Get
She
screwed off.
does. So I
So weird to talk
also
about.
watched all the Home Improvement stuff. Of course I did. Watched the finale of that. Santa Claus was, we watched it like every year because it was playing on the Disney Channel. So I always loved the elves, with
like
attitude.
the SWAT team kind
Oh,
of
the
thing?
SWAT team was great.
That main kid was too cool for his own good.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
He
was
even when
try-
I was little, it bothered me.
He was
how
trying to have his own TV show. That's
we're
why.
elves.
Yeah.
With attitude.
With
Hey,
attitude.
don't worry, Charlie. We're the good guys. No shit. no one else is fucking
yeah.
flying on rooftops. All right, so
Yeah.
Tinsel,
Flying
not just
off
for
rooftops.
decorating trees.
Ew. Oh, I hate that you did that.
kid.
Anyway, sorry.
I'm so
Continue.
glad that I'm
continue.
not the only one that hears it that way.
But yeah, this I'm echoing again, but this was the first time watching it, like thinking about like how I feel about it as a movie compared to other movies that I've seen. So I definitely saw the seams a lot more this time.
Seams or moles? Pick one.
Seams.
Okay.
Well,
In this one, it seems.
moles are like tiny insignificant things that have nothing to do with anything. The seams are like, did it take me out of the experience a little bit?
Moles are wonderful for our environment and the natural habitat for other animals.
So
And
then that brings
Wow.
us to our
Ollie.
Ollie's next.
Wow. Thanks, Tom, for cutting that right off. Yep, Ollie, go on.
For me, I loved this as a kid. Loved Home Improvement just as everybody else.
Whoa.
Yep, same. But for me, it actually didn't become like I've seen it a lot, but it never became like my
Staple.
go-to staple Christmas movie because it was superseded a couple of years later. I looked up the dates and I was actually shocked. Jingle All the Way.
That's
came
your
out 2 years
go-to.
later.
Oh,
That's actually my go-to
interesting.
holiday movie. I think that's.
I love Schwarzenegger more than Tim Allen, but still, this.
I think it
trumps that
encapsulates
for
more
me.
of like real quote unquote Christmas kind of, but still has that heartwarming
He
feeling.
is Santa Claus.
I know, but it's just the atmosphere
Okay,
of that
whatever.
movie. Anyways, but
No, it's got that like holiday cheer and
yeah,
warmth.
it's got more of the anyways. But that's a different
Jingle All
episode.
the Way does not have warmth.
It's about shopping.
Until the last 5 minutes.
It's about shopping.
But yes.
I want to be Phil Hartman's son, like
Yeah.
nobody's business. But this one I actually really enjoyed, but same thing going back like without the nostalgia glasses, it didn't like hold up as well as I was hoping it would, but it was still a really
Enjoyable
fun time,
film.
enjoyable time. Yeah, Tim Allen is golden.
So now everyone at home knows kind of where we're going to land with our Grump guesses and who's going to be the Grump. Or
Potentially, unless you were cut
Potentially.
off by Tom.
which is more excitement, right? Mystery.
Oh yeah, all
Don't-
the mystery.
Don't give all the
Do
exposition.
you want to finish what you were saying?
Actually, no, that was pretty
Okay,
much it.
so there we go.
I'm just giving
So,
him shit to give him shit.
Well, do you want to be like Bernard and be all the exposition? Anyway, so let's go to the next part where we're
brief synopsis?
brief synopsis and our production.
So the
Wow.
movie centers around Scott Calvin, who works for a toy company. So he's like Santa Claus.
Mm-hmm.
And he's one of the parents in a divorced family from Laura, who is now dating Neil, who is
Shut
a
up, Neil.
psychiatrist. And he has, in the beginning of the film, we find out
Is it
that
dating or are they married?
Murd.
are they married?
Married.
Oh, my mistake.
Mm.
So we find out that Charlie got bullied at school about Santa Claus, and Neil took it upon himself to tell him that Santa Claus is more of a state of mind than an actual person, which,
Feeling.
of course, Scott
Shut up, Neil.
hated because he's influencing his son. I think it's more so, at least I got it, more so that he's just influencing his son than rather
Yeah,
the
losing
belief
control
itself.
of his. Yeah.
They don't get along great, Laura and Scott, and Charlie doesn't actually want to be at his dad's place. When his mom leaves, he says,
Please
you pick
be
me
here.
up really early, like 7 a.m. early,
Like sunrise.
sunrise early. And she's like,
Mhm.
okay, whatever. That breaks Tim Allen's heart a little bit. She's like, I'm going to cook an amazing dinner. That
Bomb-ass
burns. So then
turkey.
they go to Denny's
Yep.
with all the
American institution.
other
Chinese people.
dads who
Oh, well, there
also
was a
burnt
bunch
the
of Chinese
turkey.
people.
Yeah.
Japanese, you were close.
Oh, Japanese? Yeah.
yeah.
and they, go home after that. It's a kind of a sad Christmas Eve dinner. But in the middle of the night, after he read him a story, which is the night before Christmas, you hear something on the roof. There arose such a clatter. One thing leads to another, and they kill Santa Claus together as a family.
The Santa Claus murders.
Bye.
And so he puts on the suit because Charlie won't stop bugging him to put on the suit. And they go around and do Santa's job and end up at the North Pole, where he is told because of the Santa Claus,
The claws.
he is now Santa Claus. You put on the suit, you deliver the presents, you rode in the sleigh, you're Santa Claus. We were told by Bernard, who is a fast-talking
Mr. Exposition.
New York elf. And it's this beautiful, wonderful workhouse with all these elves who love the Christmas songs. Better watch out, better not pout, I'm telling you why. So they
Second on the list.
decide to go to bed. They get hot chocolate. They get a little more exposition from Julie, who makes
Judy.
who makes the perfect hot chocolate. Not too hot, not
Shout out
too
to
cold.
Julie, though.
Extra
Shout out.
chocolate.
chocolate.
It took her 1,200 years to come up with a recipe.
And she looks pretty good for
And
that.
he gets these pajamas. They wake up the next day, and he's thinking it's just a dream, but he's still wearing the pajamas. The SC Scott Calvin. That's what it is.
Mm.
And
Judy
he
was the
says
name of the
Judy gave
waitress.
Judy gave you those to his mom. Anyway, Santa Clausing ensues. Santa Claus transformation
Wow.
He
ensues.
pretty much is cursed with the power of Santa
And
Claus.
Tries to kind
yeah.
of
the
deny
more
it.
he turns into Santa Claus, the more people think he's crazy. And they actually eventually get Charlie court ordered to only have,
Separation.
well, not separation, but
They take away the visitation.
not take it away. That has to be supervised.
Supervisor.
Oh.
Supervised
wow.
visitation. And so he comes to say goodbye to Charlie because he knows he's Santa Claus. We've had the lists now, all that kind of stuff.
Checking it twice?
And he basically runs away with Charlie
He
on
kidnaps him.
Christmas Eve.
No,
Well, 'cause
on
Charlie
Thanksgiving.
wants to come with him.
It's Thanksgiving, isn't it?
No,
Because Bernard says he was going to come for him at Thanksgiving.
is that what it is?
I thought so.
Is he
and then
gone
he was
for-
like gone for a month.
I didn't know that.
Oh,
I
yeah, you might be
missed
right.
that somehow.
The way they shoot
The
it.
story just got
Yeah,
a lot darker.
Way
I
they
thought it was a
shoot
night.
Yeah, the way they shoot it, it looks like it's one night that he took him.
Yeah,
Because the
They-
elves have been.
it
because
looks
they're all
that
still
way,
because they're
but-
all still wearing the same clothes.
but then also.
no. But
He's wearing this. Neil's wearing that
but
same
he
sweater.
changes everything about the sleigh and everything.
You're right. He has to have time to
I
develop all
I
that.
No, no,
paid
no,
attention
no.
to that.
And
It
also-
was like,
and
I'll
also
come
the
for
the
you
police
at
lineup
Thanksgiving.
happens, too.
Yeah.
That's
So-
true.
There's a lot of time passes.
So anyway, a month passes, I guess. My mistake. Christmas Eve comes around. They start delivering the presents, all that kind of stuff, and he gets arrested in their house. So then we have to deploy the elves.
Mhm.
They break him out of jail. They tie up a guy, shove a donut in his mouth. It's a lot. Everyone has a lot of fun. And he brings Charlie back, and he says, I'm sorry, you got to stay here, but if you need anything, little crystal ball, it's gonna bring me back. He leaves
For 10 minutes.
He finally comes back, and one of my favorite moments when they realize that he is actually Santa Claus.
Mm-hmm.
I think Judge Reinhold has one of the best on-screen reactions I've ever seen. And she burns the visitation papers.
Mm-hmm.
And they make a deal. How about he comes with me Christmas Eve, you guys on Christmas. Dealsies. Gives them mystery date, gives them the Weenie Whistle.
Oh my
and
God,
he's
that
Santa
vacant
Claus
stare.
forever.
He gets
Moving forward.
one more ride with Charlie
Yep.
and it's going, well, don't go across the ocean, Charlie.
First thing he does, go across the ocean. So, he's still got Calvin at
Because
heart.
that's divorce in the 90s.
And that's that.
Pretty much.
I need to,
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
now I'm thinking about how dark this story actually
Yeah.
is.
Yes.
So they kill Santa.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
There's
Santa.
kidnapping.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
There's
At
breaking
the-
and entering.
At the end,
There's assault.
there's
So
assault.
they assault an officer.
At the
Mhm.
end, Charlie, they're asking him what he's going to do when he grows up. And he's like, I think
Go
I'm going
into
to get into the family
So
business.
he's going to kill
He's going
Santa.
to kill his father.
So a little bit of that's not that's a
I
little
didn't even think
Oedipus
about
complex. Little Oedipus complex.
So I'm just saying,
Yeah. Now that I
there's
thought
a little
about it
bit
that
more
way.
to it.
There you go.
There is.
But
It's the darkest
Jingle all the
movie
way.
you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Paper script, please. Production now.
Reminds me of Klaus a little bit.
Yeah.
So the production, the distributed by Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures. Director is John Pasquin, who did legendary TV work such as Growing Pains, George Lopez Show, and 73 episodes of Last Man Standing.
Whoa.
Producers
Makes
is
sense.
Robert Newmeyer, who did Training Day, National Security, Don't Tell Mom, Babysitter's Dead. Brian Riley, Don Juan DeMarco, Life of the Party, and Joe Somebody. And then Jeffrey Silver, the last producer, who did the Lion King remake, Beauty and the Beast remake, and Tron Legacy.
Wow.
The writers are Leo Benvenuti, Space Jam, Kicking and Screaming, and Damon, the TV show. The next writer is Steve Rudnick, who did the Muppets TV show and is a writing partner to Leo. The cast is Tim Allen, best known from Galaxy Quest,
Mhm.
Jungle to Jungle, and Home Improvement. Judge Reinhold, who's from Beverly Hills Cop, Fast Time at Ridgemont High, and Gremlins.
Oh.
And he's so good in Fast Times. I just want to throw that out there.
Mhm.
Wendy Crewson, who's from Air Force One, The Covenant, and Room.
That's what I just saw
David
her last.
Krumholtz, who was in The Deuce, 10 Things I Hate About You, and Sausage Party. Peter Boyle, Everybody Loves Raymond, Taxi Driver, and Young Frankenstein as the
Mm.
monster.
Yep.
The release date, November 11th, 1994. Runtime, 97 minutes. The budget was $22 million, and it grossed $189.8 million.
So it did fine.
Wow.
It made some
Did
chump
okay.
change.
Nice.
The Rotten Tomato score is 74% for the critics and 65% for the audience.
Wow.
We're done with that.
Very good.
Yeah, very good.
I
Mhm.
actually thought that what was it, Judge?
Reinhold?
That they were a judge.
You should watch the Clerks animated series.
You should watch. Also, you should watch Arrested Development.
There's a lot of
My name's
characters-
Judge.
Judge, yeah.
Seen
so-
that one.
Judge Reinhold literally
Yeah, he plays a
judge.
judge in it.
So
Huh.
let's get into it. Favorite parts.
Bernard.
Bernard.
Anything he does is my favorite part. Any scene he's in, he owns it. And yeah, I just like that actor as well.
Mhm.
Um,
Sorry.
so seeing him here and like growing up watching all his other stuff, like Harold and Kumar and stuff like
Oh
that,
my God.
Yeah.
yeah.
makes me very happy.
Mhm.
So I was a little mean about the cookie dispensed cookie in the little sleigh that was a
Uh-huh.
compact disc.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But you know what? Those mugs with the cocoa in it,
Yeah.
Yes.
gangster as
100%, dude.
Yeah.
Like a
So dope.
cauldron with feet.
I do really like the
Mhm.
line though, where she's like, "Took me 1,200 years to make get the ingredients right. Not too hot, not too cold, and shaken,
Extra
not stirred."
chocolate.
Shaking
Uh,
and stirring.
I
that's
was
right.
okay. The shaken, not stirred was kind of like, "Oh my god, what am I watching?" Because I was just like, "Wow, what a it's a reference. I get it. It's James Bond." But as a kid, I didn't get it at all.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I saw my dad laugh at it. I'm like, "What's funny?" And he pulled a joke on me. He's like, "You wouldn't get it." And I was like, "All right."
Ah.
But then after that, Tim Allen Santa Claus says, "Oh, you look pretty good for 1,200." She's like, "Thanks," but I'm seeing someone rapping.
That's one of my favorite
Then I
parts.
was like, "Wow, they went there," which I
Mhm.
fucking love.
Which is like a part of me because that's like at the top of my list of like favorite parts. Which nowadays you're like, it's kind of
Julie?
troublesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, well,
Judy.
she's
I know.
she is
Yeah, I hate
dead
it.
face because she's
Yeah.
like everyone's like he is technically
Just the way that they treat
Yeah.
him. Like you're like, oh, they're children. They're like,
well they're
we
all
know so
they're
much
all
more.
elves, right?
Yeah.
And they actually technically call him the head elf.
yeah.
So it
Yeah.
would make sense that
Bernard,
no,
the head elf.
Santa
They
Claus
call
is the head
Santa
elf.
Claus the head elf.
Oh, they also call Bernard the head elf.
Yeah. So it's weird. He's like, who's
Well-
in charge? Who's the head elf here? It's like, you are.
Mm-hmm.
And so when he says like, oh, you look good for 1200, he's like, thanks, but I'm seeing somebody. It's like, it makes sense in their world.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
for us as a fish out of water
We're like,
comedy, we're like,
oh.
well, to me, I was just like, she's fucking witty.
Yeah.
That's smart because she's
Yeah.
like, I know I'm bad, girl. Like, bam.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm seeing somebody right. Santa, get out of here. I'm like, that's what's up, baby.
That's what's up.
That is also my favorite part as well. Just like her being the strict professional, like she is literally in their world the most powerful like person's bedroom, and she's like, no.
But also when all the other elves are like peeking in, she just walks in, doesn't like look around, just
shoo.
And then it's like, boom, disperse.
I know, she's so cool. Judy's the best.
My number one favorite part, I mentioned it in the brief synopsis, is especially Judge Reinhold's realization
Weenie.
that he's Santa.
Santa.
Like when he comes up to him and he goes, Santa? And then
Yeah.
just has to like walk away. Same thing when he takes the like wrap from Bernard
Yeah.
and then turns back and he's gone. He's like, oh, where'd he go?
Well,
What
like
is
Bernard's
this?
about to eat it, and he's just like, hey, I
Yeah.
want to talk to you. He
Yeah.
just takes it like an asshole.
Oh my god. Also, his vacant stare when he like blows on the weenie whistle, and he's like,
It's the weenie whistle.
How old were you? I was 3. 3?
I did.
Thus getting darker.
Yeah.
I did like the little girl. There's 2 little girls I actually really like in the movie. One that's at the park bench,
Yeah.
who just like slowly creeps up on him, then finally stands up when like Scott Calvin's at his like pretty much final form of Santanism, and just fucking taps his hella hard on him. She's like, "I want a pony."
Yeah.
And then like all of a sudden a
She
line
says it
shows-
hella quietly. She's like, I want a pony. Like opens her mouth huge and then, oh, they told me not to yell. I want a pony.
But I do like, and I also like the little girl that woke up in his first outing.
Yeah.
oh
when-
yeah.
She's like, "Why aren't you fat?" And then it's like, and he
Oh,
just
that
comes
little
up with
girl's so
all
cute.
these different things. Like, you're supposed to drink the milk.
I'm lactose intolerant.
And then it's like,
She gets some soy milk
like,
the
yeah.
next year.
"Do you want this doll or not?"
Oh,
And
his
chucks it at
his
at the
physical
drink.
reaction when he's like, ow.
When he drinks the
ow.
soy milk.
Yeah.
No, that is my qualm.
He-
That's my
He's-
qualm.
He's like, you see his teeth scraping his tongue off.
Yeah.
Why
'Cause
is
he's
that
trying to get
qualm?
the-
It's a great reaction.
I all the mouth. It's like Uncle.
so good.
It's
Mouth.
like Uncle Vernon's like one mouth click from
Oh,
Harry Potter
so good.
multiplied
the
by
perfect-
50.
Perfect reaction.
Of course it is, but it's awful.
Ollie.
Go ahead.
I mean, one of my favorite parts is just the hot cocoa. Like I've always wanted to try that hot cocoa.
She sells it.
Yeah.
She
So
fucking
hard.
sells it hard.
Shaken, not stirred. Try it.
But then I just like I like the quartermaster bit, like showing all the different like the fire retardant suit and all this stuff,
Yeah.
like getting
Oh,
his
yeah.
upgrade.
But
but what
yeah.
if I fall off the roof?
I think this is great.
And
but-
Comet gives him a rope.
That was the best full circle. But do you get this for me in case I fall off the roof? Uh huh. Thanks, man.
I wanted that one time, just one time for the squad.
Yeah.
I know that it's so cliche and so silly, but the ZZ Top walk, I just always
Is that what that
love
is?
that.
I'm gonna say this: it was part
Well,
of
it's
its
to
time.
ZZ Top. The walk is to
Yeah.
a ZZ Top song.
When he's
Okay.
finally suited and booted in like the dope nylon thing.
yeah.
It's like such a part of the '90s.
Yeah.
Where like
Yeah.
some like, and that was the thing I kind of loved like about the old Batman stuff. It's like, get a new suit, da da da. This is like the evolution.
Not
like,
just a suit, but like a shoo.
yeah. And like this is actually like if you think about it in writing form, like it's probably the cheapest way like then was like to show physical transformation of a character.
Mhm.
To
Yeah.
give him a new outfit because you know like in anime or in cartoons and comic books like costume is important. So when
Yeah.
it changes, it's very important.
Oh yeah.
How rewarding is it in the Arkham series when
Yeah.
you find new suits? You're
Yeah.
like,
Or even the old.
I'm gonna murder everyone.
yeah. Any Batman movie.
yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah.
But then also this is like high tech, so it's got the little two-way receiver and the little ball of his hat.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that like all of those things happened because Charlie was there, and that makes it make more sense that he was there for the whole month from Thanksgiving
Oh,
to
it's
Christmas.
for sure Thanksgiving.
Because he like does the two-way radio, he does the vertical lift off, he does like the
Mhm.
Do
flame
you notice
retardant suits
what
and
the
everything.
guy's name is who invents all that stuff?
Yeah.
What?
No.
Quentin.
He's cute.
Quentin.
He's
Q.
Q. Yeah. From James Bond.
Perfect.
And he's
James
British.
Bond's guy
Oh.
who makes all the things is named Q.
That
Codename
makes
Q.
Quartermaster.
Oh,
sense.
So
Wow.
yeah.
Aw.
I
Any other favorite parts? I have one.
I can keep going. Go for it.
When he's reading Charlie a Christmas story to go to bed, and it's like, and then he's like, "How do the reindeer fly?" It's like, well, they're horns. It's like antlers. And then he just like has he's like, and it's like, well, there's a slipstream, and then they're weightless. He just gives up. He's like, they're weightless, okay? And then they're weightless, walks away. And it's like, because Charlie's like constantly poking holes at the mythology.
And he was like, but Santa's fat.
And so like I love that. It's to me, it's a little bit.
That's
of
where the line comes in. Sometimes believing is just believing in something.
Yeah. And Judy says it too. Believing is seeing, or seeing is believing.
Yeah.
Believing is seeing. There you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's a big part of like I think somewhat of the subtext I think the movie was trying to go for, but then they were like, let's just do comedy.
Another favorite part of mine that always makes me laugh. It's a little thing, but when he's reading, Bernard puts the card under the magnifying glass. Tim Allen's facial expressions,
Oh my
looking
gosh.
through the like,
And his teeth,
Yeah.
his teeth show out.
the big fucking eye and everything like that. It's from the trailer and everything, but like it will make me laugh every single time.
Well, this is one of the things that I like about 90s comedy is I really do think that this is in media kind of the transition from old styles of doing comedy, which has very much physical comedy,
Yeah.
slapstick. And Tim Allen still kind of had that going for him in his comedy, even
Yeah.
like Home Improvement. There's over-exaggerated movements and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so really big facial expressions
Carrey,
or,
yeah. Well,
and so it's like that I really, really, like a lot of my humor is very based on
That
like
era.
that era and
Yeah.
like Monty Python and then going into Mel Brooks and stuff like that. There's a physical side of it, and that's what I love about this.
Do you want to add on that?
Well, I was gonna say, like, to me, it's very much like during that time again. I think kind of was almost like the renaissance of comedy, and especially with like physical
yeah.
comedy. Right now, and I think early 2000s was much more of like the talking box comedy. But like now, or head in the box comedy. But now, like during this time frame, like it kind of reminded me of like Steve Martin comedy, where
Oh,
like.
yeah.
But then instead, more Tim Allen is a little bit more of like this is more the everyman.
Mhm.
Where like Steve Martin was still sometimes the
Well,
everyman.
Steve Martin was kind of he was in that physical comedy
Yeah.
age too.
But
yeah.
he also played in the part of like I'm not sympathetic. I'm actually kind of a terrible human being.
Yeah.
But he was a little bit more highbrow in terms of like how he acted. Like he thought he was better than people.
Yeah.
Well, like Tim Allen likes to delve into like the underbelly of like
Like every time he runs off stage or off frame, and it's like he's like freaking out.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like when he shaves and all that stuff, where like
Oh,
when he finds
yeah.
out like he's gained so much weight overnight. Like he's like I shave in the morning and look like this. Like it's
Yeah.
just like that manic behavior. Like I
Yeah.
love that.
The thing I love about this movie, especially that gives me, I think it's its charm, is that their explanation for things, and a lot of them are the things Charlie asks in the beginning, right? But like, what about people without
Chimneys,
chimneys? Like the fact that it turns into this old, beautiful chimney that like
a walk-in chimney.
Well, it like
Yeah,
it gives you the vibe that it's old magic, right?
Mhm.
It's not like a new
Yeah.
type of thing. My wife and I were talking about that, and I was like,
That's your wife.
it's almost like the guy wrote this. Almost heard kids over talking about the reasons Santa couldn't exist, and was
Yeah.
like, "Oh yeah," and then like
Fans
wrote
all-
this film about it because it really does plug a lot of plot holes that when you start thinking about Santa, you're like, "Well, how does he do this? Well, how does he do that?" And it answers all of those.
Well,
Like
and
the
it's
bag
really
being able
charming.
to pull a kayak out of the
Yeah,
bag.
or
like
how he
old
can
magic.
fit
Yeah.
down the chimneys.
Yeah.
Like it's just like
I-
sucks
I
him down
think
in, and
the
like,
cool thing, the way they try to answer it is like with magic.
yeah,
And it's kind of like to me, it's like how does that happen? It's like your lack of imagination is preventing you from adding one and one.
yeah,
It's like if he's going to get to every house, he's going to get to every house no matter what. How he does it is up to you to imagine that. And
yeah.
so he kind of creates like a walking path for you to like do it. So he holds
And like
your
it's
hand a bit.
strangely logical in a very illogical way.
Mhm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the magic is there, but it's consistent magic,
Well, it's like
which is nice.
Why hasn't Santa ever had an accident? What would
Yeah.
happen to him? Like like how do people?
Oh, they have elves like
Yeah.
that come help him. Like he
It's
can
like-
get caught by people, and
And it's like,
Police.
what does he do throughout the other days of the week? He's like, he probably works a real job.
Yeah.
And then like goes back and does that for one night.
Yeah, he's off for
He's
11
a
months.
seasonal worker.
Yeah.
And
I'm
I
sure that they
also-
said they answer this. I'm so sorry. The
I know.
elves, ELFS. What did that stand for again?
it's
Uh,
not extraction something because that's what I thought it should have.
Lev-
said.
Levitation
something
something.
flying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
I
look
remember.
for it.
ELFS.
I also love that they kind of explain that like elves look like children but are much older, and that they're like these old tired people
Yeah.
in child
They've been
bodies
holding down the fort forever.
a long time. Because I love the first elf that he comes across is like, I have pointy shoes older than you.
Yep.
I was
Yeah.
like,
Okay.
all right, I'm sorry.
Another thing that will make me laugh every time is when he's in the room for the first time. Julie, no, I'm just kidding. Judy just left, and he's like looking around. The train set's going. They got the Punch and Judy show, and he starts to take his pants
Oh
off.
yeah, the puppet show.
He's like, "Oh God, damn, man!" Little things like that is very Tim Allen-esque.
Yeah.
And so shout out to Disney for hiring their first felon.
Hell yeah.
What?
They had a strict no felons policy, and Tim Allen was charged with felony for trafficking cocaine.
Oh.
So he's their exception to that rule.
Wow.
ELFS, ELFS stands for Effective Liberating Flight Squad.
Yeah.
I was
To me,
there's-
again,
they almost there.
exfiltration or extraction, whatever liberating
We're
flight squad
owls.
sounds better.
Without it,
Versus effective. Well, I mean, if you're not, you should
He hates
be
it
pretty
so much.
effective.
I do.
Yeah.
Also, it should be ELVES.
No.
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 Anyway,
Well,
We're owls.
that kid did bug me though,
Yeah.
but we're not there. yet.
yeah.
I'm not wearing hockey pants.
I did like Judge Reinhold a lot.
I
in
He's
that.
hate
great in this.
I liked him
Yes.
where it's like when he sees at the soccer game, he's like, "Call me."
Yeah,
Yeah,
his
call me.
like genuine concern.
He's like genuinely calling him. It's like, and it's like the funny thing about it, like again, it's a very '90s comedy in that sense, where like they just shit on Neil all the time. It's like,
Of course.
he's
Shut
not
up, Neil.
He's not a doctor. He's a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
Like not thinking of it, it's like a real thing because that was the
At the
temperament,
time, yeah.
temperament at the time. And like,
Still is
like-
a little bit,
like
unfortunately.
you don't hear that much. He's a quack nowadays,
Right.
but like that is such like this was one turn away from saying like he was a quack.
Yeah.
And it's like I thought
It's
it was
also
kinda
like
fun.
I think back then, like step parents were seen as like a
That
bad
part.
thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh
like,
yeah. Well,
yeah.
divorce is taboo. Step
Right.
parents are taboo. Mental health was taboo.
Fast forward to,
Gaining
like-
weight was taboo.
Santa was
Yeah.
taboo.
Fast
Like,
forward
I-
to
and
Ant-Man.
you should
No.
diet.
I love. Fast forward to Ant-Man.
Ant-Man is the best handling of a step parent, I think.
I guess.
The one I enjoyed the most.
I guess if you're only looking through Disney, then probably.
You should
Okay, give me your
don't start
example.
the-
Genius.
I don't have one because I don't look through that lens. Like, I wonder what's a really good
Nerdon.io
stepmom.
/ Disney Plus.
So that means your answer's right for now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Just kidding. That's not a thing.
But I would say I really liked. Actually, it was like not like I thought it was like got good points, but I was like, oh, the Jeopardy theme when he's
Oh.
eating all the desserts
Mhm.
during the lunch
Oh, yeah.
meeting.
Oh,
And then he's like,
Oh,
are
I
you done
loved-
yet?
Done.
Dum dum.
Down.
That lunch order was fantastic.
Well, he's like a salad and then a cheesecake and a
The
tiramisu
cheesecake.
and a fudge
All
brownie,
the
fudge,
desserts.
extra
Because he
fudge.
says salad, no dressing.
Yeah.
What are those
cookie?
hot cookies with the
Cookies.
chips are
And then,
really
like two
melty?
other desserts.
He's like, could you warm that up for me?
And
please?
a hot fudge sundae.
Fudge on the side.
Uh,
And then he gets
Man.
mad at
And a
like
big glass of milk.
Santa Claus going actiony.
Yeah.
It's like, no, Santa would not be in it. Like I was
Yeah.
like, you could see the change, the chemical change in his brain.
Yeah.
Those are great things.
It's because it affects him beyond the physical form. He does start to become Santa Claus.
oh my God. Also, when Charlie like has his like, I can't go with you, and like, not many children being upset will like affect me, but Charlie's like sad tears and little like whimpering cries shot straight through my heart.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, how dare you be good at this at the age that
Doesn't
you
affect
are?
Tom at all.
I know Tom's unaffected because he hates children.
Well, he doesn't have a heart,
I'll
but,
tell you. I'll tell you.
He one of the other things I really loved, and my wife pointed this out to me, and she was like, that was her audition. I guarantee it was the mystery date monologue.
oh yeah.
Yeah, watch that
Ah.
now and think of it as an
Oh,
audition,
yeah.
and you're like,
Yep.
she
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
killed it.
Makes
she nailed
sense.
it. Good for her.
Um,
Because she acted
she
the hell
does.
out of that.
yeah.
You want to go to favorite characters, or you want some more, Josh?
Nope.
You want
That's
you want
Favorite
some more, Vic?
characters?
no
Do-
favorite.
other than the titular characters, so only side characters?
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Because it's all
Judy.
Tim Allen.
Judy.
Because to
Judy.
me, it's actually not Tim Allen either way.
Oh, it's Judge
Even if,
Reinhold.
even if he's included.
Oh.
No, it's not.
The judge.
Yours is Judy.
Oh, I don't
Judy.
know. I know what it is. It's Bernard.
It's Bernard all day, dude.
Bernard.
Bernard's the fucking shit.
Bernard is pretty great, but Judy is also the shit. So
Yeah, I'd say Bernard.
that's fair.
I actually like the mom because of that monologue.
There you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
the mystery date.
Judge is a
Mystery
close
date.
second, though.
And then
by
when
the
she
way.
got it at the end, I was like, it was one of the ones I was like kind of tearing up. I was like, oh my God, that's so sweet.
Oh,
And she sold it.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, all you wanted was a little board game. What the hell?
Mystery
and
date.
you got it.
You got it.
Good for you.
What did you say, Josh?
The judge that signed the papers. Just kidding.
I was like, is it your favorite character is Neil?
No. I
Judge
was going to say,
Reynolds?
Judy.
I think it's Judy.
It's
Judy's
Judy.
great.
Every
But-
time I
but
hear Judy,
next
all
to-
I can hear is Judy.
Judy. Yeah.
Do you know
But
what
it
that's
will
from?
be.
No.
Why is that from? Is that
Come
not
on.
from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
No, Judy.
Oh, it's Jumanji.
Yes, it is.
Jumanji. When she gets fucking shot with the
Yeah.
barb, and he's like, he's a monkey with an axe. Sorry.
Judy.
It's the
Wait,
worst.
you were in the middle of saying something. Is it gone?
Yeah, it's gone.
It's a
It's
lie.
gone.
Oh,
Okay.
close. No, close
Ah.
second would be Judge.
Yeah.
Mm.
I just like
Mm.
Bernard
Close second
like
is Judy for me.
teleporting in and out of places, having some
His
like quick
attitude.
whips, and then
Uh, So now that brings
Sure.
us to Qualms.
The Carol of the
Qualms.
Qualms.
Carol.
Carol of the Qualms.
What's
Shall we go
how
into
does
it?
Carol of the Bells
Oh,
go?
Dude,
we did this the other day. Tom's Qualms.
Tom's Qualms, Is that Carol? Yeah, that is Carol of the Bells.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna start out real quick because mine's like this is like we'll handle most of it. Charlie.
I've got the qualms.
Charlie is a big. Okay, honestly,
Okay,
this
yeah.
is
We
my
would
note.
say a bitch because
is-
that's
thi-
terrible.
This is my note right here.
I think I'm on
no.
you with
It's
this.
worse. It says fuck Charlie.
wow.
It says always be asking the most, doing the most, all the things that get him in trouble. My dad would have whooped my ass to next Christmas if I acted like him. Because, hey,
I like that
we
you did
hear
write
we
that all
hear
down.
danger on the roof. Stay inside. Doesn't do that. Hey, stay by the porch. Doesn't do that. Hey, climb the ladder. Don't climb the ladder. Climbs the ladder. Get out of the sleigh. Gets in the sleigh. Everything the movie would have happened couldn't have happened without him.
Yeah.
But it just irritated me how it happened because it was not because of a kid of being curious in like a let's encourage the curiousness. It was like your dad's also trying to make you happy, but you also not give him any room to make you happy. So like you're also being a shit.
That's true.
Like that's the irritating part where it's like if they both were like, hey, like blah blah, like dad, like you should still believe in Christmas. Like
Well, he immediately doesn't want to be there.
yeah, like
Right?
the thing is like, dad,
Yeah.
you should believe in Christmas. It's like, I don't know. And then like it's that story of like, let's try to think about Christmas again. But then Charlie somehow immediately believes in Christmas so eagerly after like this like first act is like, oh well, the reindeer and the blah blah blah. He's like, I believe in it. Why don't you believe in it? It's like, okay, well, shit. You know, so I absolutely like, okay,
I mean, for him, I think Charlie was just putting on the I need to grow up.
the whiny ass
because-
kid.
No,
thing?
when he didn't believe in it, I think he truly did.
Oh.
It's that same thing. There's a video of me when I'm 2.
Well, he said
my first Halloween that I went out trick or treating, and I have a bowl full of candy, and I just keep saying, "No more candy. I can't have any more candy," because my mom was like, "You're gonna get sick if you have more candy." So I just keep saying it.
Yeah.
But in my mind, when I was 2, you can tell that I'm just saying it because
That's just
I
what I've
fucking
been
want
told.
more candy.
Yeah.
Like, no more candy,
well, I think in
or you'll throw up in a bowl.
I think in terms of intention and writing, it's tough because I think it toes the line between two things. Like, one, is it like how much that Tim Allen wants his kid to kind of just listen to him versus like actually still believe in Christmas?
Yeah.
But also the kid story, right? Like Charlie is growing up in
Being
a way
made fun of.
where it's like, is he still being pulled to the childhood realm or is he starting to get pulled into teenager world, right? And that's the
Oh.
tough thing where it's like, no matter what, time will pull you to being an adult. So is this the time for him to stop believing in Santa Claus? Or is this the time for him to, you know, like a child, like, is this the time he stops drinking out of the sippy cup? You know, like those are the things like,
Those
I don't
are
know
the
when.
hardest days.
And those are, that's the point of like a rite of passage for parents
up
to
in a
learn
bowl.
those things. So it's like this kid, he also like wants to be seen as an equal and no one listens to him because he's a kid. So he's like, it's a babyish thing to believe in Santa Claus. And he says that. That's like his second line.
yeah.
And it's like, oh, it makes sense to see where this character's coming from. But then the entire time he's just being a shit.
Well, once it becomes real, I think he was like, I was right. Being a kid's the shit. Like, growing up sucks.
Yeah.
The shit, not
Yeah.
a shit.
That's what I
Um,
said.
I wanted to add on onto Charlie just since we're on his topic.
Wow.
I don't know why, but throughout
Let's just
this
shit on the children,
Well,
shall we?
But
And
shout out
this-
to my real friend Charlie. He's the man.
in this last viewing that I watched in preparation for this episode, I noticed that one of the reasons I didn't enjoy him was because he's always like sad about something or always like upset
It's
about.
always whining,
He's always whining or something. Like you rarely see him happy.
being mad at somebody or something.
He doesn't
Why
have a
don't you
great life,
listen to
man.
me?
Yeah, I get
His
that.
parents
but I
don't
guess
get
like
along. Like,
yeah, it's just like for
he's got a
Christmas
stepdad
movie,
who's psychoanalyzing him 24/7.
yeah.
And then when
I'd
he
be
is
sad
with
too.
his-
He doesn't seem conflicted the fact that Judge is technically a more well-aligned human being than him. It's like you don't like whatever his name is.
Neil.
Neil. You don't like Neil. It's like who said that? It's like, and then it's like
That kid is much more emotionally intelligent in those delivery points than Scott Calvin is.
Mhm.
And so it's like,
what are you trying to tell me?
Right. It's just like some of his right.
But-
Like you could write him to not have to be as.
but then every
miserable.
single time, why don't you ever do what I want to do? Why is it what I want to do and it's stupid? It's like, because you are. Because you are.
And that's how Tom feels about most children.
Yeah.
Shut up. You don't even know how many shots I gave you to protect you from the diseases out there. Go on.
What are we talking
Wow.
I was about
Sample.
Charlie.
Yeah, go on.
But no, that was mainly a frustration part, I guess you could say. Was just like just watching him, having to watch him on screen, just the fact that he was always upset or nagging or crying or whatever. Like that was like not something that I want to watch too much of in like a Christmas movie.
That's fair.
I would say, I guess, a redeeming point for Charlie. So I'm not like a terrible human being. But
Yeah.
when
Be great.
He is Charlie X Machina.
Believe. And he gives him the snow globe.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there you go. That's it.
That's his time to shine. It's the
That's
only
his
one.
time to shine.
in
Charlie X
Tom's-
Machina
in
through the whole
Tom's world.
film is the reason all of it happened, like you said.
Also, one thing I did really like was him immediately calling out his dad on burning the turkey to the waitress.
Yeah. Burn the turkey.
Aw.
Are the qualms, Josh?
Burn turkey.
Burn turkey.
The guy's got like the bandage on his hand.
Quiet, like
I had a couple of kind of little qualms. It was kind of a logic thing. When the Santa is first murdered,
In gold.
It's second degree manslaughter because it wasn't premeditated.
so when they're
if we're gonna
going
get
up to this,
specific.
so they're going up this ladder, and
Such a clatter.
they're
The
getting
subject ladder.
and they're climbing up the roof. They're
Yeah.
walking up the roof,
Yeah.
and they're walking to the sleigh. I was like, do you know how fucking slippery that roof is? And they're just kind of going up it like all's well. Like for some reason, there was like this logic thing for me that I
Well,
was like, they're not slipping at all. Like
Josh,
it's like it's okay.
actually-
like
Josh, actually not so slick. You know why? Because you can't see their breath throughout the entire film. So it's not that
You
cool.
want to know the part that wasn't a logic gap for me is when Santa slid down the roof.
And then you see a carpet of fucking
You
snow.
see the carpet of snow like
fly
peel
up in the
back, and I'm
air.
like,
Yeah.
oh,
That's-
none of that. Then
That's
I paid
AstroTurf.
I paid way too much attention to the fact that it was all like cotton fluff snow and how they had like stapled it around the
Yeah.
bushes.
yeah.
Making movies is really fucking hard.
It
for
is.
people.
I
Yeah.
know.
I know. To me, that's
I will
that-
never knock that kind of
To
stuff.
me, yeah, that's
just
a continuity
because-
thing, and I'm like, whatever. I get it.
Honestly, I think a lot of it also has to do with home video and the fact that back then it was everybody crowding
Was this a
around
home video
a
release?
12. Well, no, I'm saying like eventually a lot of people are going to see it where it's going to end up and make a lot of money.
HD.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Well,
now
this,
we're seeing it
on
in
rewinds.
1080p for the
Right.
first time.
well, this
Right.
was the time frame, like Ollie's saying, like where a movie made half its bill based off the DVD and
Right. Well, you also had a,
VHS release.
12-inch TV, shitty quality.
Yeah.
And
like,
you were never
relative
gonna
to
notice
today.
that stuff.
You're
Yeah.
never going to notice this.
Right.
Now on a 52-inch
CRVs.
TV, you're like,
That's
That's
a
the thing.
sheet of
Yeah.
cotton.
The only other thing that kind of bothered me a little bit, it was the passage of time, and
Oh,
it
yeah.
was after the first Christmas and then to the next Christmas. It was just
Oh,
like
the year.
like even you having a question of like,
Oh, was
oh
it?
wait,
Also,
was it?
kids
After, I mean, I
Charlie's
know that they
age-
said it. It
Yeah.
was the way that they showed it.
kids
Right.
Charlie's age a lot
Yeah,
in a
In a
year.
year.
Not
Visually.
Sometimes.
not really.
Sometime.
Visually?
Visually, I
From,
mean,
like,
how old is he
5 to
supposed to be?
6 or whatever?
He's not 5 to 6. He's older.
What
than
is he?
that.
He's older
He's
than
probably
that?
like
I mean, there's certain
8?
spurts
7 to
where
8.
you can
Yeah.
tell,
That's true.
but like in certain ages, it's like okay, he's 9 years old. Yeah, last year he was 8. It's
Yeah.
not a big thing, but guarantee when he reaches 12, you're gonna.
But
notice.
he might have a different haircut.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I was like, everything's exactly the same. I was just,
Same
yeah.
bowl cut.
I will say a funny thing it's not a qualm, but man, all of
Tony
Neil's.
Stark looked the same 5 years later.
I mean, yeah, because well,
He's already old.
they give me a whirl. Anyways,
Go on.
But all of Neil's sweaters are fucking fire in 2019.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Like that is
Yeah.
like what people.
Oh.
fucking
Bernard
love.
liked his sweaters.
Yeah.
Did we make this? That was one of my
He's
I
favorite
love
just
how he
tag.
pulls him and he's like,
He's like, "Are you seeing this?
and Judge,
Like,
it's still like,
There's an elf." And
I
I'm
have friends who have legit those sweaters. I'm like, and they're like, those are the hottest things. Like, you have too much swag. I don't understand it.
wow.
Wet.
Because to me,
Hot,
I wouldn't get it.
dripping
I
wet.
wouldn't get it.
my last qualm, again, tiny, was just it was the intensity
Little people.
that Laura and Neil were so like
You can't believe in Santa.
that, but also like when everything's happening with Scott, like they were just so intense into like he's such a terrible person
Well,
in this thing, and I was like,
Yo,
Jesus, everybody.
I'm gonna speak on that behalf because I came from that environment
Yeah.
my entire life. I love my mom, love my dad. They get along great now, but there were many moments like that where either one of them would
you were
talk
like
to
the
me-
weapon.
talk to me about the other, say
Oh.
things about the other one.
Oh yeah.
Or I mean, there was plenty of times where this was before you couldn't go to the gates. Do you remember when you can go to gates to pick people up?
Yeah.
So I would come to LA, visit my grandparents, and as soon as
Oh,
we
yeah,
stepped
yeah.
off the gate, the other parent would swoop us up before we could say goodbye and stuff like that.
Wow.
Oh,
So for me, that felt real and mild. But again,
Yeah.
that's my own baggage coming.
It's not like just to clarify, because I had that too. It wasn't it wasn't even the way that they interacted with him. It was just
The level.
they just thought he was crazy
Well-
with such intensity that I was like, he's not really doing all sorts of real crazy shit.
Yeah.
He just he's Santa Claus, or like, I don't know. It
Well,
was
then we
weird.
can
we're on the
see.
other side
Well,
of it.
like,
Yeah,
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
if you pull out all the Christmas shit from their perspective, he could be like dealing with a lot of addiction, and that's
Yeah.
why the sudden weight changes,
Yeah.
sudden like hormonal changes.
well, because if Charlie
They didn't
thinks he's
acknowledge
Santa
that, though.
and then he starts changing his like physical appearance, dyeing his hair, dressing a certain
Even
way.
then, like, let's say it wasn't even about Santa Claus. Like, if you saw someone just drastically change their body like that so quickly,
But it's
you'd be fucking creeped
to
out.
match what their child
Yeah.
ideal is.
Even if you,
that's
but
the point.
I feel like
Yeah.
even if you did take that out, like, there is still a level. I think that makes it even more
That's my
compounded.
point, yeah.
But it's like someone changed like so quickly, and like again, mental health and all this stuff is like
To
all
win over a
taboo
child.
at that time. So
Yeah.
imagine like seeing like anyone's like, oh, they got their hair. Like, what are you going to start doing? Getting a Ferrari because
But
you're
they
in a
didn't.
midlife crisis?
They didn't interpret it that way. They interpreted it as like the way Gann is to like. I think she even
Yeah,
references,
to match his thing so he can
match
like him.
The fact that he thinks he's Santa
Yeah.
Claus.
So
or
you want
whatever.
just to make Charlie like you more?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I get it.
It was just
But
a little
again, that's
thing
my
that I was
own-
kind of like,
Again, like I said, that's my own baggage though.
Yeah.
That's my own.
I'm done.
Caitlin?
I was bothered by soy milk mouth sounds.
Yes.
That bothered me. It was perfect, which is why I hate it.
Sure.
But also something that bothered me was Laura and Neil talking about like, yeah, I stopped believing in Santa when I didn't get the exact toy that I wanted. And I was like,
Yeah, I don't remember it
What?
ever being that. for
You know what
me.
that made me think?
what?
You guys were fucking badass kids. That's why you didn't get shit because you suck.
Right? Like, and then
That's what made me. I'm like, no, because you suck.
and then
Probably.
Santa like gives them the gift years later. So it's like, wait, why didn't they get it? Were they bad? Did they
They were
get
probably
cold that
fucking
year?
bad.
Yeah, like,
Or like,
But like, I think that point it was.
or
a
did
s-
Santa because like they didn't
no,
fully
I
explain?
think for sure they weren't supposed to get it, and this was kind of the selling point of that. Like to them, like they were the only two that shared that knowledge between each other.
Right.
So Santa having that knowledge, like you saw, he got the list, and then the
Mhm.
next shot is him walking through the city. He's like, blah blah blah, good, da da da, bad,
Mhm.
girl, very good.
He just knows.
like he
things.
starts, he just also intrinsically magically started learning things.
Omnipotent.
So like he started learning like people's old like things like that. So like that's like, oh, he is Santa because he really did know about that thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Like he was
but
passed down that knowledge.
but like why would he give that to them like retroactively?
I think
now?
it's. I think honestly, it was a selfish thing that he was just trying to sell the fact. It's like I am Santa.
I am
know
Santa.
that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
my predecessor sucked, and that's why he died. I'm not gonna die.
Oh, okay.
And I'm
I will not die.
but I am going to kidnap our kids. So
Yeah.
whoop,
Yeah.
whoop, whoop.
I don't have much. I have logic gap stuff, but it
Yeah,
doesn't
there's
affect
a lot of
my
that.
rating. So like, why doesn't he just go to their house, like shave his head, and then have them watch his hair grow back
Yeah, right.
immediately
Yeah.
to prove his point, or go to
Yeah.
a barber shop? Because I was talking with my wife about it. She's like, "Well, that seems crazy." And I was like, "Well, then go to a barber shop, have a bunch of people see it, and then be like, oh damn, okay, this is something's going on
It's
for
legit.
real."
Yeah.
But then you don't have a movie.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for me, there isn't much. This is probably as close to a perfect Christmas movie for me as it can get.
I knew I shouldn't have picked you. That's why I was good. Okay, I'm good.
Yeah, no, for me, this is like top 5
Oh,
holiday movies of all time.
Wow.
I have more qualms.
I was gonna say, unless you want to,
I like how you're looking at mine and you're like, oh, I match that probably.
visual effects.
Oh,
Whatever.
my other qualm, we're elves.
Oh, okay, okay,
Ah,
okay.
Wait,
So
that
wait,
kid-
what was
okay.
that?
Yeah.
The kid who
No, okay.
he's like, don't worry,
the
Charlie.
CG did
Oh.
it.
So,
Oh.
so I want to jump on that real quick. I have a note here. God, these kid actors are trash compared to Harry Potter.
Yeah.
And that's when we did the Harry Potter episode, and you guys were like, "Oh, the acting's so bad." I was like, "Did you not watch the fucking Santa Claus? Like, look how bad
But
these
you're also
kids
talking
are."
about a different type of budget too.
Yeah, but
a different
you know,
era.
I still,
Do you know what I mean? Though?
I still feel like
There were
maybe
a lot of kids
casting
in that
and Harry
movie,
Potter
too.
got like maybe another $20 million more. But I'm just like,
that's huge.
my God.
That's huge.
There was just like a bunch of Mervin's kids that were like, "Oh, come on, let's go. We're making a movie."
I do like all the elves hidden throughout from the beginning of the film. Did you
That was
notice
cute.
that?
What?
I only
yeah.
noticed it at the end.
Yeah.
Throughout the entire film, anytime there's group shots of kids, some of them are
Oh yeah,
elves.
some of them are elves. Yeah.
From the start to finish.
Don't worry, we're the good guys. Made me say out loud, "No fucking shit."
Yeah.
I literally wrote like shaken not stirred, made me say Jesus Christ.
Don't worry, we're the good guy.
Like those things, I'm like, I
Bruh.
can't. I like. It was just like not even like okay. Let's say we wanted to sell him as a cool guy, sure. but some of the things he was saying was the stupidest things.
Yeah.
Was like, we're flying, we have pointy ears, and we're wearing green.
Don't
we
do
knew
this
exactly
without
where you were.
Elf supervision.
They're like,
The
we're the
worst-
good guys.
The most egregious one. We're elves with
With
attitude.
That wasn't even the worst. The worst one was for me was that don't try this without elf supervision.
Well, to me, that's a super
hang loose, bro.
That is a studio mandate. Like you got to tell kids you can't do
Yeah.
that because da da da.
Don't jump off roofs.
Yeah, because nowadays even with movies,
That's how my dad
can't make movies with imagination or else people go crazy, right?
That's how my dad broke his arm. My stepdad. Shout out.
He watched
My-
Santa
What?
Claus.
He thought he was Superman. He jumped off the roof.
Oh.
You know, there's actually a lot of stories about Superman like that. A lot of people who like watched the original Christopher Reeves movie and then jumped off roofs.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
But yeah, so
More
it's like
qualms,
this
Tom.
definitely for
Let's
sure.
do it.
More qualms. So Bernard being Mr. Exposition a little bit like threw me off. Not like threw me off. Like I remember that from the movie.
Yeah.
But like as an adult now watching it critically, I was kind of like, there's a lot of explanation that maybe other elves can probably take part in. But like
Yeah.
I understand that where his place is.
Yeah.
He
We also
can
have to
do-
remember it's a kids movie.
It is a kids
so
movie.
if it comes from one source, it's a lot easier
It's
to
really easy,
follow.
especially if he's
Yep.
taller because it comes from an authoritarian
Yeah.
figure. I feel like the writer room for this was just a bunch of bits.
Yeah.
Because
They were
the
great bits.
cutaway where like the night driver was like, "Ugh," and then he's like, if we like, I love Tim Allen's performance, but the joke to me is dumb because he doesn't finish it.
Mhm.
He's
Which
like,
joke?
if we take the I-99, it just flies off. I was like, what? Where's the punch?
The punch is that he's talking about freeways.
I get
and they
it,
don't
but
need to
it
take
could have been
freeways.
if he
Yeah.
said like, you check out my other sleigh. Like I guarantee you there's more bits that he had. That, but then for some reason in editing, they were like, that's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one. It's like about a freeway. It's like, that's the most you come up with?
Yep.
Just a freeway? We're all, I
Correct.
get it. I get it. But, let me see. I would say, yeah, I said like, yeah, the fact that he's a psychiatrist joke is
Mhm.
not a real doctor thing. It's funny for the time, but it's problematic now.
Yeah.
Because I think that's really important. So it's just, again, it's a sample of its time.
Well, and then we
I
had
thought
time
the
travel.
I thought the assistant in his lap joke from the very beginning
Oh.
was definitely
Well, me too.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
But again,
probably time.
It's product of its time.
Yeah,
Like fart jokes. I'm just like,
also,
I honestly
movie.
Yeah.
don't
Yep.
remember any of the fart jokes aside from comment farting once and him being like, "Blech."
there's another one when he's going down a chimney. Makes fart sounds.
Oh,
And when he's gaining weight, when he gets out of bed the first
Oh, yeah.
time his hair changed. It's a big
oh
fart.
yeah.
But
kids movie.
again, that stuff all that side because it's not a movie for adults.
Yeah.
It's a movie for
Yeah.
kids.
Yes, it is.
But
That
that's it.
that has elements to allow adults to watch it without going crazy.
Well, I think Tim Allen's there to make him not go crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think the custody battle is for them to not go crazy.
Oh, it's not a continuity thing, but it's something I just caught, and I won't use it against my score. The little girl that catches him the first time, it's like, you're supposed to drink the milk, and get some soy milk. Same two teeth are missing
The next year.
Yeah.
next year.
Yeah.
Teeth are still missing.
'Cause they
I'm
probably
like,
shot
they
that
shot
the same day.
Exactly. And it's like, we only got this kid for that day.
She's
the only-
waiting for the bridge to come in.
Well,
like,
they're probably like, oh, we only got like 2 actors that are kids, so they're like,
we have her
she's-
for today.
She's one of the actors. Everyone else is just extras.
So that was
Yeah.
it. But that's me.
I dig that.
All my qualms are done.
That was
Ali,
it.
it
Fair
sounded
number.
like you had.
He's
Did
just
you have
had
something else?
Special
Oh,
effects.
I was just talking about CGI doesn't hold up very good.
Oh, the
Oh, yeah.
reindeer.
The reindeer.
Well, so does
Endgame
fly.
won't in 10 years either.
That
So,
is very true.
Yeah.
Well, until it gets
20 years.
augmented of.
Yeah. Till we get the special updated
But
edition.
will,
Remastered
but will
Endgame.
Lord of the Rings look good?
Jurassic Park look like
It's starting to not
Yeah.
now.
I'm saying like
yeah.
Jurassic Park looks better. But that
Sure.
was like a year after. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Well, also Spielberg.
Also, again, yeah,
It's
the
also
budget.
Spielberg.
The
Spielberg.
budget again was,
Spielberg.
and on Jurassic Park they used cutting
So-
edge technology.
Actually,
That
then I
didn't
give them
exist.
props for trying CG in '94.
That was before they revolutionized CG with
Yeah.
Jurassic Park because
Yeah.
that changed the game completely.
Mhm.
So they were using outdated tech,
Yeah.
as they say.
And it's really
it was
hard
a
to see. Some,
PNG floating
Yeah.
on the.
like
Oh
when
my
you saw
God.
it, like when it was like close to camera, it was
Yeah.
very hard to see.
Yeah.
What it was going so fast because you're like, just make it go really fast.
The only one that really
It
stood
doesn't
out
look
to
good.
me was when it comes down the roof the first time.
yeah,
and
that
pulls
weird
up.
kind of.
I mean, also it kind of stuck out for me. Like again, it doesn't take it away from me. Was anytime you see Charlie look at the globe, you could tell it's so superimposed.
Oh yeah,
And I was like,
Mm.
don't move, kid.
don't move.
It's like
Don't
it's
move.
a, it's a
Hold it
picture.
still.
Don't move at
Yeah.
all.
It's a picture.
freeze
yeah.
frame.
So yeah. So now rating.
Yeah.
Rating.
So
Rating the reindeers. Reindeer
Caitlin,
ratings.
Josh and I will go first, then Ali, and then Tom will go last. So do you want to just go down this line? And
Yeah.
then- so Josh.
Josh.
I really love this movie. Say a 4.5. Yeah, 4.5.
Wow. I'm actually the exact same, 4.5.
Nice.
Wow, I am the exact same, but also just a 4.8 instead.
Wow.
I love this movie.
That's
I
not
think
the exact same, but
I think
Yeah.
it's as far as something that like an entire family can enjoy. That's
Yeah.
hard to come
Definitely.
by, no matter what age you are. So props to the writer for that. And I think the premise is just so beautifully simple, and I really love the explanation for all the magic. It's really well done, really logical
the
in an
pitch-
illogical way, like I said.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love it.
The pitch probably was like really easy and really
Yeah.
fun too.
Go ahead,
Me?
Ollie.
Mine's 4.1.
4.1.
oh, what is it, Tom?
Oh, mine's 3.8. Mine's 3.8 for sure.
It was. I was actually like,
so
I was like,
happy
am
to
I
be
so
right.
harsh on this
Love to
movie?
be
So we
right.
got it right.
I was almost a 3.9.
We got our patrons here to give a shout out to. We got Dana and Eric and Jackie all voted for Tom, and Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Sir Mix.
Yeah.
Sir
A
Mix-a-Lot.
hot tip for
Y'all
the,
all voted for Tom, so shout out to you guys.
a hot
for
tip
getting it
for
right.
Okay, Ollie, don't try to
Hell
apologize
yeah.
for your.
No, I'm not apologizing. A hot tip. Superfluous things will increase my score. Like if it's like some stupid thing that I like a lot.
Yeah.
Will increase. Oh, got it.
Yeah.
So like food and cookies and
Yeah.
hot cocoa and like
So like
cocoa
how
and-
a mole might take it down like a point something
Kids.
for me,
All-
it adds like a
all
full
the
point.
fucking kids.
So
To
there
me,
you have it.
Okay, I didn't write this in there, but like I remember saying it's like I just want to punch every kid in there.
Wow.
I was so upset. Like I was just like,
Even Judy.
act better, guys. Come on.
I was like, God.
Judy would
Tom
I
should
hope your first
never-
film is a kids movie.
I
Oh,
hope-
for sure. Oh, dude.
Like I hope
I
your
pro-
first feature is a
Goonies
fucking
too.
kids
I
movie.
promise you,
Goonies 3.
I am rebooting Kindergarten Cop with like Sean William Scott.
Okay.
And not
Do
using
it.
any kids.
No children allowed.
That's what it's gonna be. I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah.
All 20
Second unit director, please.
No.
Can I
Yeah.
get you in?
Kindergarten Cop with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Second one. I'm getting too old for
A
this shit.
reboot.
Now he's the principal.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just Kindergarten Cop meets Lethal Weapon.
Yeah.
There's
I'm
the
down.
elevator pitch.
But I mean, honestly, if it was a reboot,
too old
we
for this
probably
tumor.
would change it to like a woman actor instead. So it would probably be like Jane Lynch.
Yeah.
As Kindergarten Cop.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
True. It's true.
I'd watch
So
that.
there you have it.
We did
That's
it.
the Santa Claus.
The Santa Claus.
It's the fine print.
The claws.
Mhm.
Santa Claus.
Claws of the claws.
What about you?
How
The
much do you
viewers,
like children?
Listeners, how much did you like the Santa Claus?
Do you like it?
What was your
Do you like
score?
the
Who
movie?
did you think would be the grump?
Do you prefer
Let
your
us know.
your cocoa shaken, not stirred?
Or sure, stirred and not shaken.
What's
Yeah.
your favorite way to not fall off rooftops?
Yeah. Yeah. What's your favorite flame
Don't get on
retardant
them.
suit? Anyway, thank you so much for listening. We appreciate you all. Please do share us with your friends, your family. If you are new, check out nerdon.tv. It has all the information about everything that we do
It's
all
a whole
in one
bunch
place.
of fun.
It's
Happy
a
holidays.
whole bunch of fun.
You know?
Happiest
what
of
we do.
holidays
Yeah.
to you all.
There's a lot of
We-
kids in there.
We get to do this. This is
Pretty
a
exciting.
joy and a large part,
I have to.
except for Corey. We get to, the four of us get to. Corey has to.
Yeah, poor buddy.
If you want to give us a Christmas present, you can head on over to Apple Podcasts and leave us a review.
Yeah.
That'd be great, actually.
Rate
That's
and
all we want
review.
for the
Yeah.
holidays.
That's all we want.
Yeah, the magic elves, they see that.
But a review with attitude.
Oh.
Attitude. Jeez.
As long as you can get the, what is,
Without it, dude.
Get that transcribed somehow.
My favorite line of his was when he's like,
I'm not wearing a hockey pad.
Oh my god. Every time.
You got it in earlier, too. I was,
You
I was
did.
thinking that
You
was the
did.
time.
but in the elf voice.
You always
Yeah, I
keep
did
us
it.
going. Always keep us guessing.
I had to get one real one in.
All right, you know the drill. As always,
Nerd on!
Ending broadcast.